And I know you guys are gonna hate me because this is just so unlike any other Mission Impossible list. Hey, what's up guys, it's Josh here. Today I wanted to review all 6 Mission Impossible movies. I had watched some Mission Impossible movies in the past. I was never really into the series. I'd never really followed the series. I kind of forgot almost everything that I had watched. Because it was coming into summertime, I was looking for some nice action movies to watch. I watched Top Gun. It was just really dated and I was like, alright, I've heard of Mission Impossible. It sounds good. Personally, I like James Bond. Let's pull the trigger on Mission Impossible. I have some things I want to say about the overview of a whole series, and then I'll jump into all 6. And to be honest, there's going to be some aspects that I'm going to leave out that I would put in a full review. So if you guys want me to do a full review on all these movies, let me know down below. There's going to be a few things that I noticed or I liked or I didn't like that I'm not going to mention. I'm just going to kind of go over the main points of why I'm going to rate it in that order personally. And I know you guys are going to hate me because this is just so unlike any other Mission Impossible list. And I like what I like. I have my own little tastes and all little biases here and there. So they're all pretty much high action movies with not much plot. Almost every one of these movies does not really have that much of a big story or plot. It's just, really quick, really fast a lot of the times. And that's just what it is with the movie. It's an entertaining, high action movie and you don't always know what's going on, but it's really, really entertaining. They are known for long, complex action scenes. Now, I know other movies do this, but they really chain together these long action sequences, and it's really nice if you're into that action sequence. There's a few action sequences I just didn't really like any of it, and it was like 30 minutes long, so I really do like the long action scenes when they're done right. 3 movies I enjoyed, 3 I didn't, but I can tolerate the bad 3 because I do like the good 3. If I had to watch a full marathon, it would be good. All these movies are a bit too long for what they are. The first Mission Impossible movie, it does drag on though, so it feels like it could be shorter, but after that, they're all about 2 hours, sometimes 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes. Almost all of them feel like they could be a bit shorter because they drag just a tad. But when you have Tom Cruise, he likes to make these really big movies, and then when you have a really big budget, you have, all these extra scenes and you could shoot all this extra footage, so it ends up being really long. I totally get it, but they are a bit too long in my opinion. These set of movies really got me interested in Tom Cruise. I had seen some Tom Cruise movies before, but I feel like I hadn't. And after watching these movies, I'm like, I guess I did watch 5 or 6 of his movies before, but I was never really engaged. I never really got him. But after watching Mission Impossible, pretty much like a Tom Cruise fan. Like, I will enjoy checking something out if he's in it because I do think he's a great actor. The general way that I felt when I was watching all these movies was very good, very positive. Ethan Hunt just always goes for it. He always does the right thing. So it's like it kind of gets you in the mood to just always push it and do the best thing. The first 4 movies are very different, and then the last 3 have some similarities, but all these movies really felt like the time that they were released. So let's jump into this list. And again, I know you guys are gonna hate me, but I have my own personal reasons by this, and let me know if you want me to do a full review down below. You guys are not gonna agree with my list. Let's just accept it now. Number 6 is Ghost Protocol. Now, I was just really bored with Ghost Protocol the whole time. There were several times where I guess Benji was in number 3. I didn't really remember him that much. In this movie specifically, he's so annoying. I mean, there was times where I would literally have to pause the movie and just say, shut the F up. Like, shut the F up just over and over. Because he's almost like a dumb little boy playing this action role and he's making all these mistakes. Paula Patton was a terrible fit for this. As soon as I saw her, she just didn't really vibe that well. When Ethan goes outside, he decides to break open the window and climb outside on the Burj Khalifa. And they tell her and she's like, oh dang, like that old guy. It's like, dude, that's like the craziest thing he could possibly be doing, and you just undersold it and it just ruined it. The Dubai scene was the best scene, but I really liked how mixed in the sandstorm with it. Wasn't really impressed with the actual climbing just because of the way it was shot. There were so many angles that you didn't really feel like he was going from this window up to this thing. It was just like he goes outside a bunch of different shots, then he comes back down. And for me personally, I'm a fan of Ethan Hunt doing everything, and Paula Patton saves his life as he almost falls out the window. I'm trying to suspend my disbelief as much as I can, but I really like when Ethan Hunt does almost everything on his own. It's number 6, Ghost Protocol. I was just so bored with this movie. It's number 5, Mission Impossible, the original. Now, this is the shortest Mission Impossible with the smallest budget. It definitely feels kind of like the most different from the rest of them. It has a few action sequences, but it's almost not even like an action movie. Mainly that Langley scene, which feels really dated. It's not that like the worst scene, and I did enjoy parts of it, but it feels really dated now. And it's one of those scenes where they spent about 30 minutes there, so it's just kind of like, this is a big part of the movie, and it just, for me, it felt dated. The end scene was pretty good. I could see why they made it more of an action franchise after the ending because it is very crazy to believe any of that stuff. But Mission Impossible 1, it was solid, but it didn't really do too much for me personally. It's number 4, Mission Impossible 3. Now again, I know you guys put this one really high, but I watched this one in theaters back in the day, and all I remembered was the ending. And it's funny, upon rewatch, I feel the exact same way. A lot of the stuff they could have done, but it just did not hit for me. It was not memorable. This one feels like a normal straight up movie because it was shot by J.J. Abrams. It has this kind of weird contrast to it where it's like things are really popping in color, but they're also dark. I'm all for, you know, whatever scenes you want to put in movies, but I just kind of felt like the opening scene with him and his wife, it just threw off the whole action franchise, like Ethan trying to settle down and entertain guests. It just really threw it off for me. Girl J.J. Abrams, what they do is like they tease Seymour Hoffman, they tease this scene in the very beginning, and of course almost nothing matters, and then they go after the rabbit foot and they're like, oh, we're just not going to tell you what it is because it's J.J. Abrams. And the thing is if he were to tell you what it is, he would make it seem like, oh, there's this bigger plot where the rabbit foot is pointless. That's exactly what he would do. And that's what I hate about J.J. Abrams. He never gives you a complete picture. He always teases you. And then when he shows you the tease opens up into something else. And it's just like, you don't have an ending. Mission Impossible 3. Really hard to rewatch this one. I guess it was better than the other two, but that's just me. It's number 3, Rogue Nation. Now, after watching Mission Impossible 3 and Ghost Protocol, I pretty much had very little hope for these movies, but I did notice that they started getting better in the rankings. So I'm like, well, people are rating them better. Hopefully they get better. And Rogue Nation to me was like Ghost Protocol done right. That's exactly what it felt like. All the stuff that they were going for, the new age kind of feel, it just felt 100% correct. I absolutely love Rebecca Ferguson. I saw her in Dr. Sleep and I didn't really notice that she was in this role too, but she is just an absolutely perfect counterpart to Ethan on every aspect. She takes him seriously enough, but she also has her own spunk. Benji isn't annoying in this movie. Like again, Benji annoyed the crap out of me in number 3. He was like a little kid. He's so much more serious in Rogue Nation, and that's what I like. Jeremy Renner and Alec Baldwin, just fantastic additions to this. One of my favorite scenes in like pretty much all of Mission Impossible, but this one too, is Alec Baldwin is so after Ethan Hunt the whole time, after him, doesn't give him any credit, and then near the end somebody wants to leave the room and he just delivers this 30-second speech just letting you know how crazy Ethan Hunt is and that he'll do anything. And it really sold how good Ethan Hunt is and that how crazy it is. You know, it just was one of my favorite scenes in the whole of all of Mission Impossible. The things I didn't like in this one is I didn't like personally how Rebecca saves him. He's Ethan Hunt. I want to see him do everything. Like, I don't mind somebody helping him, but it's just like, I want to see him do everything. And then I really wasn't interested in the play scene. I don't know why, when they're doing all that stuff, like with the guns and the plays going on, it just wasn't for me personally. It's number 3, Rogue Nation. To me, like a perfected Ghost Protocol. All right, guys, number 2. I know you're going to hate me. I understand, but I'm going to go with Mission Impossible 2. Now, this was for the longest time gonna be my number 1, and I was like, man, you guys are just gonna absolutely hate me. Now again, all these movies aren't perfect. This movie is far from perfect. I just really enjoyed so many aspects of this movie. I mean, personally, I grew up around that time, small window of time where they used nu metal in movies and things like that, and they decided to use a Limp Bizkit song to open up this blockbuster movie. It's just something you're never gonna see again. There's probably about 4 or 5 mass flips. I didn't see any of them coming. I really enjoyed that. You think somebody's one person, but they're not. I really enjoyed that. It's the most 2000s action movie I've ever seen. Now you gotta remember 2000, you have like the original Fast and the Furious, you have Blade, you have The Matrix, things like that. It was just a 2000 style movie, and that's exactly what this is. I watched this recently, a few months ago, and the whole story revolves around a killer virus outbreak, and I was like, that's crazy how it's so similar to what's going on right now. They're literally trying to create a killer virus and have an antivirus. That's the whole thing. They're trying to get stock options on the cure for the virus, and most people don't understand stocks and most people don't understand stock options, but I just got into stocks and I'm just understanding stock options. When he was talking about that, I was just like, man, this movie's just hitting me just perfectly, you know? But the main thing I didn't like about the slow-mo, and I don't like this with any slow-mo movie, is when they do one scene and then they show like the same part of somebody moving from a different angle. So like I don't mind if you slow-mo the whole thing. When you repeat the same movements from like slow-mo, that's when it gets to be too much. And it was a lot in this movie. A lot of it I did enjoy, and a few little bits I don't. I really wasn't taken out of it too much. I know other people were. There's a decent amount of romance in the middle. I will say near the end it kind of fizzled out. And I just really liked a lot of the locations in this one. I liked how it starts in a plane and then it goes right to Ethan rock climbing. I will say that the only time I got sweaty palms in this whole franchise was when I saw Ethan rock climbing in Mission Impossible 2. The Burj Khalifa didn't do anything for me. In Mission Impossible 2, I know you guys can hate it. It's not a perfect movie, but for a 2000s action movie, or 2000 action movie, I mean, you can't get any more 2000s than this movie. It's also too, it's a very masculine style movie, and the newer ones, they always have like a strong female counterpart, and that's great, you know, that's the new age. But in this one, it's very like the men are the men and the women are the women.
To go to bed with a man and lie to him, she's a woman. She's got all the training she needs.
I find it to be a little bit more of a masculine movie versus the newer ones. But anyways, guys, Mission Impossible 2, I know you're gonna hate me, but all right, guys, number 1, Mission Impossible Fallout. Now, this was one that I did not expect to ever dethrone Mission Impossible 2. I just absolutely love this movie. Just a fantastic finale. I didn't really feel like this one was really dragged on that much, and this is the longest one. It's 2.5 hours. There's so many things I liked about it. Like, I loved how they bring his wife back. I love how the interaction between him, Rebecca Ferguson, there's like this mutual respect and this mutual understanding of how this has to go. You know, in the ending scene, there's 2 different nuclear bombs, and literally everybody Ethan cares about is in one spot. So versus the other movies, yeah, something bad would happen if villain won, but it's not like every single person would die if Ethan failed. Literally, if Ethan fails at the end, he dies, his ex-wife dies, his whole team dies, Rebecca Ferguson dies. I'm a sucker for really good scenery. And, you know, a lot of times I really liked Mission Impossible 2 because I had that classic style like beach and like rock climbing and things like that. But newer age movies, they like to use different scenery that hasn't been used before. I really enjoyed the final action sequence where it's like snowy, but it's green at the same time. That was fantastic. I loved that scenery. And also, probably is my favorite action scene in all of Mission Impossible was when they did the skydive. I showed this to a few other people. They don't really have the same reaction to me, but I was so impressed with that scene. More impressed than any other scene that I had seen in any other Mission Impossible. Gets struck by lightning. The lightning effect, how it cuts out the sound, it really feels like almost like that was literally like probably my favorite scene in all of Mission Impossible. But that's been my favorite ones. I gotta go with Mission Impossible Fallout as number 1. I'm actually really excited to see what they're gonna do with these next 2 Mission Impossibles. They've just been getting better and better, and it's almost gonna like be like, is Fallout gonna be where they peaked and they're gonna go down, or could they actually make this better? I don't even understand how they could do it. But anyways, guys, I really want to go more in depth on each one of these videos. Even right now, I'm thinking of stuff I could have said about each one. So if you want me to go over each video, let me know down below. But anyways, guys, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I couldn't do it without any of you guys' help. You guys are the best. I'm having a great day out here. Hopefully you're having a great day at home. See you all in the next video. Peace.